welcome back. This is our very last press conference for the Wanda Diamond League series ahead of tomorrow night's Muller British Grand Prix. The next time athletes are gathered like this, it will be at the Tokyo Olympics or the holding camps. Next time we do this in Britain, it will probably be 2022 in the indoor season. So we're going to welcome 3 of our international field. We'll have them come in one at a time for photos in front of the branded backdrop. In the order you can see their names across the front here. And then for those of you that were here this morning, it will be a few questions from me, questions from you, and any that come up remotely on the iPad. So let's start with the man that has the fastest time in the world this year. In fact, he's got the 2 fastest. One of them was wind assisted at 9.76, the other 9.77. He's for the USA. He was the 2016 World Indoor Champion. Please welcome Trayvon Bromell. And it's okay to take your mask off because we're in the bubble here. And I think most of the cameras are straight ahead of you at the back there. So if you stand kind of centrally. Thank you. Have a seat. Our next competitor is just 21 years of age. She's been a prodigy for some while. She's actually not lost a 400-metre hurdles race so far this year. 52.37 on the 4th of July, a massive personal best in an event which is red hot in the women's 400-metre hurdles. Please welcome from Netherlands, Femke Bol. So have you standing perhaps centrally there, and mask off is okay. The cameras are at the back by the door.
Thank you.
And we will have one picture with all 3 of them before we start, but our final guest is going in the 110-metre hurdles. He has been outstanding. Undefeated in 2021 apart from one race, and that was the Jamaican Trials where he finished 8th. He's not selected. I think he has a few things to say about that because he's the defending Olympic champion, the 2017 London World Champion. Please welcome from Jamaica, Omar McLeod. Cameras are there. And a picture of all 3? Yeah. Rose between 2 thorns. You guys know how to pose, don't you? a bit of that going on there, wasn't there? So let's start at the far end, Omar. Let's get straight into it. Incredible in a country that you're visiting where we have the first 2 plus 1 at the trials get picked for most major championships, which allows a bit of discretion. But Jamaica seemingly picking first 3, and you're not going to the games. How are you about that?
I'm very heartbroken, honestly. I just don't think I was given or granted the fair opportunity to make the team. With this ridiculous schedule that I've never seen in my years of track and field. I've never seen a ridiculous schedule like that where they have semifinals in late in the evening and then, without recovery, and the country was on complete lockdown, so we were unable to go back to the hotel and get food. So my team and I, we did the best we could. We went to a little lounge at the hotel and drank some soup and a salad before because that's all they had. Trying to go back to the track at 5 in the morning for finals at 8. I mean, that's stupid. I mean, you don't treat for an event that has your reigning Olympic champion, you don't treat the event like that. Give me a fair opportunity like everybody else to come and make the team. I didn't have the audacity to not show up at the trials, thinking I was obligated to make the team. I went there ready to compete and earn my spot the rightful way. And in the morning, I had the most human moment where I had a severe cramp before the race, and in that moment I just didn't know what to do. I thought my country would have had my back. We did a medical exemption, hoping that it's been done for Usain Bolt and so many athletes before, where they couldn't run in the final or something happened and they fill out a medical exemption. And I mean, that was Usain Bolt. I mean, you couldn't deny him from going to the championship. And I thought I was in the same position, knowing that I won my country all their major gold medals and historic moments where I was the first Jamaican to win a gold medal in every championship. So I thought I was going to be okay, and then my name was not on the list. So I'm pretty heartbroken.
Did you then exhaust every appeal process, or is there none?
I mean, my team and I, we did everything we possibly could. We sent them emails. We went and met with the Gateshead selection team. We did everything that we could. I put out a statement on social media just to tell what happened. I mean, I did everything I could, we possibly could. So, I mean, the decision was up to them.
Well, thank you for speaking about it here, because I know it's an emotional thing for you. But just looking ahead, is it possible that the Jamaican team's loss will be the sports gain, including tomorrow, because you're a man on a mission for the rest of this season? Are you looking to just set the record straight about who's world number one going through the rest of 2021?
I mean, I've proven that over and over. Throughout the season, I went into the championships as a world leader before Grand Holloway run. Like I said, I didn't go to the championship with the audacity that they had to pick me. I was competing well, you know what I mean? And I was like, every opportunity that I had or I got, I went out there and gave a great performance. And I was going to treat the trials just the same. And my team and I, coach and I, we were on par to run something ridiculous at trials. So I was robbed of running really fast, a potential Jamaican record or world record, because that's just the ridiculous shape we were in going into the trials. And so I have nothing else to prove. You know what I mean? I don't need to prove nothing. I am ready to go defend that title, and to be denied that opportunity is really absurd.
What should we expect from you tomorrow?
Honestly, I'm just running off emotions right now. I'm just going to go out there and do the best that I can. I'm mentally not in a good place. I'm trying my hardest to just finish the season and just do the best that I can. But nothing promised tomorrow. I'm just going to go and give my heart like I always do.
Are you cool with the other Jamaicans that are running? It's not their fault, is it? But
it's not their fault. Nobody reached out to me, only Elaine. Nobody reached out to show their sympathy or whatever. But, I mean, they're not obligated to do that. I wasn't really looking forward to that anyways. But, good luck to all of them. Go represent the country well.
Well said. Well, we'll come back to you in a minute.
Thank you.
Let's turn to Femke, a woman in a very, very hot event. What are your thoughts on what it might take in Tokyo to win or to medal in the 400 hurdles?
I think we're at a really, really high level right now, also on the men's side, but also on the women's side. So I think it's going to take some really fast times and some really nice races in Tokyo, but I'm really excited for it.
Do you, with McLaughlin and Dalilah Mohammed having so recently exchanged world records, do you think about them when you're training? Are they in your mind when you're training and preparing for an Olympic year?
Well, just when I prepare for something or when I'm training, I just think about the training and how to execute everything, just like in races. But of course, I look at their races and they're really inspiring, and the way they're running as well. So I do look at them, but it's not like they're in my mind the whole time.
What should we expect from you tomorrow?
Well, I'm again running against Shamir, so it's going to be a nice race, I think, again, and a nice battle, and I'm just going to try to do a really good race again.
We had a Dutch performance coach in the lead up to London 2012, Charles van Comedy, who's now back working with the Dutch Federation. It didn't escape our attention at the European Indoors that Netherlands are very, very strong at the moment. Has he had a part in that? I mean, how have things come so good so quickly in Netherlands across the board as well, a lot of events?
Yeah, exactly. Yeah. I think for sure he's now our head coach, like our head coach above the coaches at our sports center at Papendal. And I think he really makes sure that everyone is working together as a team, like also the coaches, even though they don't always do the same disciplines, to really make the best out of all and use everyone's expertise. And I think that's really working out, as you can see, for the Dutch people.
Let's turn to Trayvon, world indoor champion, 9:76, 9:77 legal time this year. Are you the man to beat in Tokyo?
I respect everybody as an athlete, so for me, I just go out there and just try to focus on my lane.
But as US champion, I mean, maybe the Jamaican trials are pretty hot, but that's a seriously tough championship to come through, isn't it? Even to make the games.
Yeah, the Olympic trials is always going to be tough. I feel like for any country, at the end of the day, you got to go out there and put forth your best effort. For me, it was just a great opportunity to be back. Because, you know, going out in 2016 the way I did with getting hurt, having this long road back, and then coming back to the same position that I left out at, it's a lot. You know, mentally to think about it, trying to stay stable and humble as possible, not to count anybody out. So I don't want to get complacent. At the end of the day, I just try to put in my work, and then when the time comes, just go out there and run.
It's a quick track. We know that from the test events that took place there in May, where Justin Gatlin was the winner of the 100. What time do you think it's going to take to be the fastest man in the world at the Olympics?
I feel like at that stage, the time don't matter. I think it's the medal, the opportunity, the race itself. At the end of the day, if you win with 10-0, it's still a gold medal, regardless if you go that fast or go 9-7, 9-6. I'm going into the race just wanting to be the first person to the line.
At a Diamond League, quite often for the men's 100, it's 2 rounds. We have semis and then a final. So an early race and then a late race, about 2 hours apart. Tomorrow you've got a straight final. Which do you prefer? Would you like to have 2 run-outs tomorrow? Is that what suits you best, or do you prefer a straight final, just one effort?
At this point in my career, when I came back to running, when I moved with Coach Rayner, we was doing a lot of like 1 rounds just because we were still trying to build and get stronger. Now going into Olympics, we train as a group to get ready for rounds. So now doing the one-offs are a lot different, especially this being my second race overseas since 2016. So it's a little different now, just trying to cut that switch on to be like, all right, you got to go all out one time. So it is a little different. That's why I'm taking it race by race, but my mind is focused on the rounds, going through Tokyo and doing what I can to get to that line.
You may not realise this, but Gateshead hosted a world record way back. So it is a quick track. You've got Adam Jamili, CJ Ujo, Zarnell Hughes, Reece Prescott, Fred Curley in your lineup. Are you a student of who was in your race, or you just do your own thing? Are you aware of those guys and how they're going?
Oh, yeah, of course. I mean, we all around the same age, came up around the same time. Me being a student of the sport in general, I pretty much know everybody's background and how they run and what they do in the sport and in the event. So, yeah, I mean, I know them. You know, a lot of them are my friends, so.
Can you be friends when it's like that, when it's bidding to be the fastest man in the world in an Olympic year? Is it not a bit like heavyweight boxing where you've got to be a little bit in your own orbit, or are you good pals until the starter says on your marks?
I mean, I don't beef with nobody. So at the end of the day, like, shoot, we all got to get out there and run, but I don't look at nobody no different when we get on the line. Like, if somebody don't like me, they beefing with themselves. But for me, I'm like, shoot, I know you, like, I know we all going to put in the work to go out there and run fast. It's just whoever get to the line first that day. I ain't about to change on nobody just because they in the same event as me. Like, I'm gonna shake your hand still.
Very good. I'm just going to ask each of you, because we asked everybody this morning, outside of athletics, outside of track and field, what do you like to watch at the Olympics? What other sport will you be looking out for as for results and people taking part? Sorry to have sprung that on you, because I primed people this morning, but I've sprung it on you 3.
I'm looking forward to tennis, which is my favorite sport, and gymnastics to watch my favorite athlete, Simone Biles.
Simone Biles?
Yes.
Right. Femke?
I think swimming, we have a good Dutch team in there, and it's really nice, but also gymnastics. I really like to watch it.
I don't know, honestly. I'm gonna be real with you. I don't know. I like sports in general, so I mean, I'm just be tuned in to a lot of it. Last time when we was in Rio, like I was watching the ping pong, so all that
Table
stuff.
tennis.
The table tennis. My bad.
Okay. All right. Questions from the room. If you have one, put your hand up, and we'll bring the microphone to you. Yes, starting with Stuart.
Question for Femke. A lot of us have been really impressed how fast you've been running this year. I mean, has that surprised you, or did you see it coming?
I was hoping to maybe go 52.9 this year. That was my goal, especially after indoors went really well. But around 52.3, I hadn't expected it, and even on my coaches. So it was a really nice surprise.
Yes, I want to ask you about the indoors, because obviously you impressed us the indoors. Do you feel that has been something that has really contributed to you being so fast over the hurdles?
Yes, for sure, because a higher flat speed helps for the hurdles when you can put it in the rhythm. And it just also gave a lot of confidence that I was running so well indoors, and I took that to the hurdles outdoors.
Just while we switch microphones, in those European Indoor Championships, which was kind of the first time we really saw you at that level, you run very, very relaxed indeed. Is that something that's been coached into you, or is that something that you've done since you were first coming into the sport?
I think that's a bit my running style. I always look relaxed, even though I'm also sometimes really tired. But yeah, they coach me to do it, but it's also a bit my style of running, so I think it's both.
Thank you. For Trayvon, can you kind of rehash what happened, in Monaco last week, and whether you have special motivation to put a better performance here tonight before Tokyo?
Like I said earlier, this is my first race since 2016 overseas, so getting over here was a lot different. My main thing, even at the trials, I just wanted to focus on just getting some runs in before going to Tokyo. So just trying to adapt to putting my body into that race mode of saying, okay, you just got a one and done. Where before it's like, okay, we got a prelim and final. So it's just all about setting up a plan to get my legs woke to go out there and run these one rounds. Yeah, that's pretty much it. I don't look at Monaco and be like mad or anything. I'm like the misstep and then obviously some technical stuff even in the middle of my races. I'm like, shoot, if on probably the worst of worst days for a sprint I still run 10:01, I can't be mad at that.
Yes, and while the microphone's coming across, the question from Keek for Femke: what's the difference between your race in Oslo and in Stockholm? Did you change your stride pattern?
No, in Oslo I went for the first time with 15 stride till the end. So that gave confidence for Stockholm, because when you do that once, you can do it again. And I just opened up really fast in Stockholm. But I had Shamir coming for me in the second half, so that pushed me also to have still a good second half of the race. So I think together that brought the time.
Thank you.
Just a question for Trayvon. Trayvon, with Usain Bolt having dominated your run for so long, does it feel like almost a new era in the sport, that there's an opportunity for somebody to establish themselves as the new 100-meter king?
I don't even want to just say just for the 100, right? So we look at across the whole field, like a lot of the older vets in the sport are moving out. So you see a lot of us young people stepping into the light of things, right? So I think we should, as a whole, see the whole sport like it's a new generation of things. So we're gonna see a lot of more personalities, characters, a lot of new people in this whole thing. So not just Bolt, obviously we love him what he did for the sport, but you're gonna see a whole new light of people across all events.
Any more questions? One more from Keek for Femke. We read that lactic acid does not scare you anymore. How do you manage this pain? How did you feel about your run in Oslo? Is that true, by the way? Lactic acid doesn't scare you?
No.
You're not afraid of the lactic sniper in the last 50 meters?
No, I think I learned to deal with it. I actually like it is maybe a big word, but going through it is really something nice, I think, battling through the lactic acid also. And I think when I run alone, you feel it more because you're more focused on yourself. But when you're really in a battle with someone, it really, the adrenaline takes over and you feel the lactic less, although it's always there. And when you're really happy, you will feel it less after a race.
Any more questions in the room? Stuart.
Hi, Trayvon. I remember seeing you in Portland, 2016. You've had some hard times having that. What kept you going during the injuries and so on?
I tell everybody, the people around me, I let people, I try to get people to understand, God put us on this earth with all us, right, for a reason. We weren't born here and just move alone. So friends, family, team, coaches, agent, everybody around me contributed to me being back here in front of y'all. It wasn't just me. I didn't wake up and just had the ability to go out here and run fast again. It take a village, to help build someone up into that potential. So I thank the people that's around me, because if it was just me, I wouldn't be here. I tell y'all that all the time. 2018, as a human, I didn't feel no reason why I even still live, because I came into a sport that I felt saved my life, and I lost it all. And then it was nobody there for me. I felt like I was just in a dark environment. Like I said the other day in Monaco, I felt like I was a shadow to the world. So for me, it was like, man, I had some people around me that was able to contribute mentally and to my spirit to help me get back here. Like it wasn't a single thing.
What advice would you give to somebody like Femke going to their first Olympics, but that perhaps you wish you'd had yourself?
Advice, shoot, stay healthy. For me, I went into the race, banged up a little bit, and I got discouraged a lot. And for me, it was a lot still being young going into 2016. So I say just stay headstrong, talk to the people around you, stay lifted up, and know that you can achieve anything. You just got to keep that faith. For sure.
Good note to finish on, I think. Thank you very much to all three of you. Good luck tomorrow evening. We'll see you down on the start line. Thank you very much.
Thank you.